Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So in this video we're going to be going over a kind of priority list for who you should maybe think about summoning if you are going to be using your special summoning tickets. Now obviously we have had a new unit added to the list of units that you can summon, and really it might make a bit of a difference to who you're prioritising, who you're going to go for, and really who you should go for first, to be completely honest. What I will say at the start of this is if you are already invested into going for a unit, so if you are already like 200 or 300 tickets deep on Akuma or whatever, stick to that until you finish it, okay? Do not switch your target until you have completed who you have already started summoning for, okay? That is a rule of thumb that applies to everything, whether it's divination, whether it's this special summoning banner. But if you are already on the way towards getting a unit, finish that unit off before you switch. But when it comes time to switch, these are the units that you want to prioritise first. So first up, and probably the best pick currently on the banner, and he has been the best pick on the banner for a little bit of time now, it's going to be Evil Ryu, okay? If you do not currently have Evil Ryu, if you are not currently focused on going for Evil Ryu, in my opinion, he should be top of your list. He does things like negate shields, well, bypasses them. He stops people reviving, i.e. Bison. He buffs your team, he does great damage. He's like a hybrid support stroke DPS unit. Very solid, very good unit. It's also a trigger unit as well, meaning you're essentially getting free damage off of using this guy. The fact that he's an assassin as well means he's got decent lifesteal ability, so he's going to sustain himself and keep himself in the game for even longer. Evil Ryu is my #1 pick on this banner, and he is a unit that I would say that if you are currently kind of on the fence about who you should go for, he should be your #1 pick, and I put him above everyone else. Not by a lot, not by massive amounts, but the #2 pick is quite highly regarded as well. But Evil Ryu is the one unit I think you should focus on first of all, okay? So let's look at unit number 2. Number 2, no surprises here, is I guess the counterpart to Evil Ryu. No, not really, but kind of sort of the cause of Evil Ryu, guy who made him come about, put a hole through his chest and all the rest of it. We have Akuma. So Akuma is going to be the one that I would say should be priority number 2, or if you've already got Ryu, priority number 1. You know, hey, that's how it works. He is a DPS monster. Plain and simply, he is a DPS monster. He will help you against PvP, he will help you against stages, he will help you against bosses, he will help you all round. The only time he doesn't help against bosses is if there is more than one unit. So like when we had Jury and Viper, he's not the best for stages like that, but when it's single target focused bosses, he is phenomenal. The reason you have that little caveat with him is his C2, which does immense damage, targets the back unit. However, if there is no back unit, it targets the only unit there, which is why he puts out so much damage when it comes to bossing. He partners very well with Evil Ryu. Some people might argue that, but I find that he partners very well with Evil Ryu. I like to do a rotation where Evil Ryu starts the combo, and then on the next one I switch and it's Akuma for the rest of the battle. And the bonus stacks you get because I start the combo with Evil Ryu really makes the damage output from this guy absolutely phenomenal, and he is the one I would quite easily put as your #2 priority on this list. Okay, and in third place, the reason for making this video today is the new girl. It is going to be Elena. I would actually put Elena before Gouken, so obviously you now know that Gouken is slot number 4. Why would I do that? Right, she is the best healer in the game, hands down. She is a cleansing unit that will cleanse debuffs from your team, but she will also cleanse buffs from the opposition team, meaning that if they've got buffed up defense or whatever, she'll bring it down. If they've got buffed up attack, she'll bring it down. She is absolutely phenomenal at stripping buffs and stripping debuffs from you. She will give you OP healing, keeping you alive and in the game. And to top all that off, she will increase your damage output if you invest into her fighting spirit. She's going to give you a massive boost to the amount of damage that you put out. So she's not only going to keep you alive, she is going to boost your damage greatly. Now, what I will say is, unlike two DPS characters, a support character can be a little bit unappealing, right? Because you don't get big flashy numbers. You don't see her killing off people the way that you will see with Ryu or with Akuma. But what you have to remember is, she is going to take your DPS character and elevate them. She's going to keep them alive. She's going to keep them in the fight. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily need to worry about pulling a unit who can do maybe 50k more damage than the other unit, because this unit will boost that unit up to make them hit that height, to make them do more damage, to make them get another round, another 2 rounds. She's going to do it in a way that you're not going to see from standard Elena, Rose, things like that. You know, she is the best support unit in the game. In my opinion, she's the best support unit in the game. Best healer, best support. She is kind of, in a lot of ways, not quite, but kind of on par with Evil Ryu for boosting damage. Evil Ryu's different. I mean, he takes longer to build up to it, you know, but this unit, she's just going to help people smack fools, and she's going to keep them alive to be able to do it, you know. She is fantastic. It's a shame the way that they've done it, you know. I don't think she would be as good if she was a standard factional unit. So it's kind of, you need to, in a way, you've got to detach the fact that she's a factional unit, because honestly, if she was a standard factional unit and she was in the pool, she wouldn't function like this, you know. So it's very hard to actually look at things through that lens, because she would not do what she does right now if she was in that standard pool, okay? She would not be as good of a unit. So I can understand why it might put people off going in here and using their tickets to pick up this unit. You can see I've got no tickets left, so you can probably guess what I did with them. But I can tell you from experience that she's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. She really will help you push content. 100% she will help you push content. Would I prioritise her above the two boys that I mentioned before? No, I wouldn't, but I would certainly prioritise her over and above the next one. So there's no real big reveal here. The bottom of the list for priority would be Gouken. Now, it's not to say that Gouken's a bad unit. He's not. He isn't. He is a decent unit. He will keep you alive. He will help you defend and all the rest of it. He will revive you, kinda. Stop you dying. Don't know if you class it as a revive. If you don't actually die, do you class it as a revive? I don't know. There's a lot of units whose C2 is quite important to me when I do my builds, like Akuma for talking sake. And this guy fights with them to essentially function, you know. If his C2 was his C1, I would 100% say this guy would bump right up. But the fact that his C2 is the one that really makes him shine is unfortunate, because I just feel like there's too many other things within the game vying for that slot, whereas the C1 would have been perfect. It would have, I don't know, just made him a lot more desirable if his C2 was actually his C1. For me, while he's good, while he's definitely good, you've still got units like Evil Ryu, you know, who negates things like revival mechanics, who can deal with this guy quite easily. This is why a unit like Evil Ryu is way up there on the top of the list. I just don't think he brings as much to the table as someone like Elena, who, as long as you're not wanting to run another trigger unit, she'll fit on any team basically. Whereas this guy, you're really going to have to cater your team around about him to a certain extent, because you are really going to be focusing on making sure you can put his C2 in place without sacrificing anything else within your team. So for me, I just don't know. He just doesn't cut it for me. I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity with Gokin, and yeah, he goes to the bottom of the list. So there is your priority list. Evil Ryu, Akuma, Elena, this guy. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I've been Hayzink, and as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.